In order to know how that we should pray, we need to understand what the elements of prayer are. And certainly we understand that we have a lot of things to pray about, and that demands that we spend time in prayer. The child of God should never have any trouble thinking of what to say in prayer to God. First, we see that we should pray about definite things. We sometimes pray in general terms, whether making a request, giving thanks, or even praying for other people. But Luke 11, verses 11 and 12, illustrates how we make specific requests in dealing with people. Likewise, we can be more specific as we talk to God. Elijah prayed that it would not rain, and later prayed that it would rain, James 5, verses 17 and 18. And that's praying for a definite or a specific thing. But also, we need to understand that there are 4 elements that can be and should be contained in our prayers to God. And we find these set forth in 1 Timothy 2 and verse 1, where Paul writes, "Therefore I exhort first of all that supplications, prayers, intercessions, and giving of thanks be made for all men." Well, first, let's talk about this concept of supplication. Supplication refers to asking for a need or making an entreaty. The commentator Adam Clarke suggests that it refers to a request for the averting of evil. We must ask to receive, as we see in 1 John 5 and verse 15. We can pray for help in temptation, Matthew 6:13, for strength to overcome weaknesses and discouragements, Hebrews 4:16. For our own physical problems, Matthew 24:20, and even for protection and care throughout the day or throughout the night, Matthew 24 and verse 20. But also we see that an element of prayer is simply referred to as prayers, and this refers to any type of discourse with God. It can be petitions, praise, thanksgiving. They all fall under this umbrella term of prayer. Again, looking to Adam Clarke, he says that this refers to a request for the obtaining of something good. We ask God for wisdom, James 1 and verse 5. We ask Him for the forgiveness of sins, Acts 8 and verse 22, for the furtherance of the gospel, 2 Thessalonians 3 and verse 1, for our daily necessities, Matthew 6, 9 through 13, for specific things such as rain, James 5, 16 through 18, and ultimately we pray that His will be done, Matthew 6 and verse 10. Friends, our prayers should be filled with praises to God. The model prayer that Jesus gave began and ended with prayer, Matthew 6 verses 9 through 13. And we should recognize God and as the creator of all things, the giver of every good and perfect gift, the one from whom all blessings flow, the Almighty, the one with whom all things are possible. A study of the Psalms, the prophets, and Revelation should help us to learn certain expressions of praise that we can give to God. But also our prayers should include intercession. This refers to a plea to God on behalf of another. If we are going to pray for others, then we can do more than just say we pray for all for whom it is our duty to pray. The Lord and His apostles prayed for certain individuals and called them by name. The Lord prayed for Peter. Paul prayed for certain of his brethren. We find many, many examples of this. We too should pray for our brethren. We may pray for their growth and for their development spiritually. We should pray for those brethren who have sinned or are in need. But also we should be praying for our enemies. Matthew 5 verses 44 through 46. We also need to be praying for our rulers, praying for sinners, praying for the sick, and praying for elders and gospel preachers. But also, our prayers should include thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is the expression of thanks for the blessings of this life. We're told that we are to be thankful to God. And friends, we have so much for which to be thankful for. We could list a very long list of the things that God has blessed us with. And we ought to be thankful for things that may not always even be pleasant, but are things that we need. In fact, we need to be thankful for everything that is good. And friends, when we understand about the elements of prayer, our only problem should be in finding enough time to do all the praying that we really need to do. Friends, we want to thank you for joining us for our program today, and have a blessed day.